The Radioddity GD-AT10G. This is a 10 watt UHF DMR and analog radio featuring GPS and, for those of you who always ask, APRS. This time on K8MRD Radio Stuff. So my friends at Radioddity reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in reviewing this new radio that they're carrying. And naturally I said yes. And from what I can ascertain, this looks like a rebranded Anytone radio. It's got pretty much the same software and walkthrough and layout and everything. So currently it's on pre-sale. Goes on sale, I think, on the 20th, but they're taking pre-orders right now. It's August 15th right now, so it goes on taking pre-orders from August 20th, and then it goes on, they'll be shipping them by August 24th, I think. It's retailing for $169.99, so let's dive in and take a look and see what we got. First of all, very important, comes with a programming cable. And it's just a regular USB, none of that fake FTDI stuff. So that's pretty great. Then we get a nice high gain antenna, our charging cradle and wall wart thingy. And a nice thing about this, it's 12 volt input. That's fantastic. So we can charge this off of our portable batteries or power supply or whatever. You don't have to use this thing. Always like to see a 12 volt input. Next we have a 3100 milliamp hour battery. This thing is nice and beefy. And also our belt clip. This came separate, I just screwed it on. And then the radio itself. Got PTT here, a couple programmable buttons on the side. Got the model name, says it's 10 watts there, 400 to 480 megahertz, FCC ID. Here's our programming flappy thing. And then on the top, we've got our power and volume knob here. This is our VFO, our antenna port, and another little programmable blue button on top. It also comes with a very well written, clearly English manual. I've read this cover to cover, and it is a very good, well written manual. So let's power it up. A nice little robot there. So real quick, I wanted to show you this because I thought this was some rebranded Anytone. If we go to device info here and scroll down, we can see this is a D878U from what the model name says. So looks like this is straight up an Anytone radio, just rebranded for Radioddity. That's fine. A lot of radio companies do that. So, but the coolest thing about this, I've been playing with this for a couple days. This is totally programmable by the keypad, so that's pretty exciting to me. So I'll show you how to do that real quick. It's still a little easier to program it with the software, but you know, just the fact that you can program this from the keypad is pretty awesome. So let's walk you through that. All right, so the very first thing we want to do, make sure you're in VFO mode. We're going to hit the menu button. We're going to go down to settings. We're going to hit radio set. We're going to hit voice function. We're going to hit ketone, and we're going to turn that beep off. Now, we're going to go to channel set, go all the way down to menu 13 to where it says radio ID. We're going to add our DMR ID here. So we're going to hit select, we're going to hit option, edit ID, delete all this, put in your DMR radio ID, hit confirm, then it'll automatically be highlighted on edit name. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to put in my call sign. And we can hit this pound sign to change from capitals and numbers and lowercase letters. And hit confirm, and then hit save. Now we're going to back out of here. Now we want to make sure that the top channel is highlighted. And we want to change that to channel mode. So I'm just going to overwrite this channel. Now, there is no like edit channel function in the software. It just happens to turn out when you're on the channel, when you go into menu, anything you do to that is going to automatically edit that channel. So the first thing we want to do, if we go back, we can see this is an analog channel. So the first thing we want to do is go to settings. We're going to go to channel set. Now I don't need a new channel. We're editing this channel. So we're going to go to channel type. We're going to change this to digital and hit select. Then the back button. I'm going to change my transmit power to low because I'm going into a hotspot, but you have 4 options: low, medium, high, and turbo. So I'm going to hit select there. Then back. Don't need an offset, I'm just using a simplex. Now receive frequency. Here's where we can change the frequency from that channel. So my hotspot is on 433.30000. Hit confirm. You got to put all those zeros, otherwise it'll give you an error. Then we can go back. You can hit the P2 and that'll go back. Hit the transmit frequency. It's already saved in there. Hit confirm. And then I'm going to name this. I'm just going to put in Parrot for now. And confirm. So we're naming all of this stuff and telling the frequency. And I believe that's all we nope, we need to go color code. Color code is 1. Back, time slot, we want time slot 2, so we'll select that. Back, and I'm pretty sure that's all we need to do there. Yeah, so now when we go back, we can see we're at 433.3 megahertz. Now we can also go back to settings if you want to see, we can go to radio set, and then under display function, this change name, we can change it from frequency to like the channel name. So now we've changed it back to channel name, and if we go back, see now it says Parrot. Still not programmed though. We still got a couple more steps. Next, I want to change the name of this zone from zone 1 to Pi Star, so we're going to hit the menu button. Go down to zone, select zone, edit name, delete this, and I'm just going to, call it Pi Star, confirm, and then we're going to click down to save and hit save. And we can go back, we can see we're on Pi Star now. Now you don't have to rename your zone, you can omit that step if you want. Next, we're actually going to put the talk group in here. So we're going to go to menu, the top one is talk group, we're going to select that. Then we're going to hit new contact. We're going to input the ID. So Parrot is a private call. If this were a group call, you can hit the pound sign and change from talk group ID to private ID. So I just want the private ID for Parrot, which is 9990. We're going to confirm that. We're going to input the name. Confirm that. And save. And we have one last thing to do. We're going to go back to talk group list. Now we're going to see Parrot, and every time you do that, you'll have, anytime you add more contacts, you'll have more contacts in here. So I'm going to select Parrot. Select contact. And we can go back. And theoretically, if we did this right, we'll be able to key up our hotspot and hear ourselves. So let's give it a shot. Kilo 8 Mike Romeo Delta, testing 1, 2.
Kilo 8 Mike Romeo Delta, testing 1, 2.
Now let's say I want to add another contact. So I'm going to add the JerryNet. So I'm just going to go over to channel 2 here, and we're going to start editing this. Same way we did before. So we're going to go to settings, channel set. I don't need a new channel. All we're changing is the channel that we're already on. So we're going to go channel type. We're already on digital. Everything is the same as it was. Transmit power, I'm putting that on low. Receive frequency, I'm going to change this. Confirm. Transmit frequency, confirm. I'm going to name this channel. Confirm that. Color code 1. Time slot 2. And that's all we need there. Now we're going to go to talk group. I'm going to put new contact, input ID. Now we're going to hit the pound sign because this is not a private ID, this is a group call. So 3128459. Confirm. We're going to add the name there. Done. And then we're going to scroll down to save and save that. I'm going to go back to talk group list. We're going to select this contact, and then we can back out of there, and now GeriNet is saved. So if we did that right, we should see me come up on this radio. So let's take a listen. K8MRD testing, the GeriNet. K8MRD testing. So let me show you some of the menus in here. You can do SMS. I'm not big into DMR. I'm still learning a lot about this, so I don't know what a lot of these functions do. But roaming, I guess if you have a bunch of DMR radios programmed in, if you have roaming as you're driving, it'll switch to the nearest repeater. You can record your QSOs. It does have GPS. In fact, we're going to go ahead and turn that on now. So you can send location. You can do APRS. It'll get the time and the date where you are. Here's your APRS menu. I don't know anything about APRS, but this does do APRS. I assume you'll have to program some of that in the computer software. But it does APRS. All you APRS guys that ask every time I make a video, does it do APRS? Yes, it does. Another nice touch with this radio, if we go into settings, we can actually change some of the colors. So if we go to radio set, if we go to display function, we can change the backlight brightness. We can change the light time for how long the backlight is on. Languages, we're not going to mess with that. But channel background, you can change the picture when it boots up. So you know, if you want to change that Radioddity thing, you can change your picture there. Change font color. So this is like when someone is keyed up and you're seeing their info. You can change it to whatever color you want. Let's say we want QSOs to be an orange. Channel color. You can change what the channels are. So let's make channel A yellow. Let's make channel B red. Sure, why not? And then the zone color, let's make A green, and zone B, let's do blue, sure. So now when we go back, see, look at that. It's just like a neat way to kind of customize your radio there. So now let's take a look at the software. This is the AT10G_1.24 software. Downloaded at radioddity.com. And it takes a couple minutes for this software to load up. And once it loads up for the first time, you should see something that looks exactly like this. So the first thing we want to do is actually plug in our radio. And you can hear that little ding. Windows just recognized it. There's no drivers or anything to install. It just worked. We're going to hit this little button here. And we're going to select COM12, because that's what we're on. Then we're going to go to Program. And we're going to read from radio. So we want to read everything that we just plugged in. We're going to keep this digital contact list unchecked. Other data you want to keep checked. Reads really, really quick. That's a really nice thing about this radio. So now we can hit OK. The radio is rebooting. And here we can see the couple things that we have added via the keypad. So now if I want to add another, if I want to change these, actually go down to digital. But before I do, let me show you this. For you APRS guys, there's no APRS here on the listing. You need to go to Tools, and then Options. Click on GPS and make sure APRS is checked. Hit OK. Now here is all of your APRS settings. I don't know anything about APRS, but here is where you would change everything that you need to do. Now, if we want to change a new contact, one of these, we're going to go to our contact talk group, and we need to add another contact. So we're actually going to, this one was already in here by default, so let's go ahead and edit this one. And let's change this to Worldwide 91. It is a group call, and then that is talk group 91. That's all we need to do. If we want to add something else, we can just keep going down this list here. So let's say we want to add the ham radio crash course. So HRCC, and that is 31621. So now we can go back up to our channels, and we can change all this stuff So channel 3, let's make this ham radio crash course and change our frequency. This is a digital channel. I want it in low power, and then we can change our talk groups. So let's make this ham radio crash course. Double click that. Color code 1, time slot, change that to 2, and that should be it for that. Then we'll go to channel 4, and we want to make this, let's see, worldwide 91. Change that to digital. Low power. You can use whatever power you want. I'm just going into a hotspot, so that's why I'm doing low power. And worldwide 91. And done. So now we're going to go over to zone to our Pi Star, and all of these are added in here already. If they weren't, they'd be in this list on the left. And you can just remove or add at your leisure. So if I want, say, worldwide 91 first, then maybe JerryNet, then ham radio crash course, then Parrot, we can organize them that way. And now all of those are in the radio, and we can simply hit this button here, write it to the radio, and that's it. Very, very simple. This radio will also support up to 200,000 contacts, and I'll show you how to upload those because I think it's nice to have the contact list. We're going to go up here to Tools. We're going to go to Import. Now, I've already downloaded the database. We're going to go to Digital Contact List, and I just have this user.csv here that I downloaded the other day. We're going to hit Open, Import. Now this is going to take a minute, and it's going to look like it's not doing anything, but it actually is, so bear with us. Alright, so now that's in there. I got an error the last time I did this, and it still worked. It says import complete. So now the next thing we're going to do, because I want to write all this stuff too that we just changed, I want to write everything to the radio, so we're going to go to Program, Write to Radio, hit OK. We want to make sure we have this digital contact list checked as well as other data. Hit OK. And the first part should go pretty quick. And then when it's writing the database, this part here is going to take a while. So you may want to go grab a cup of coffee or something, or brew a whole pot of coffee. This part takes a few minutes, and we'll come back when it's done. And now we're done. The radio is rebooting, and it is finished. That took, probably about 9 minutes. That takes a while. And now we can see if I key up, there's my information. A couple other things to mention. If you get stuck or anything, or if you have to do a factory reset on the radio, it will put it into what's called professional mode. So you need to go to this optional setting here, click on work mode, and change this right here. It'll be on professional mode. Change that back to amateur mode, and that'll get you back and running. And another thing, the mic gain. There is no mic gain on the radio that I found. You have to do it in the computer. So here's your digital mic gain. I found that putting it on 5 works for me, so I'm just going to change the analog mic gain to 5 as well. Now let's test the power. This is advertised as a 10-watt UHF radio. I kind of doubt that, but let's see. Right now, we're just on VFO 446, and we're on low power. So let's key up and see what we get. A little under half a watt there. Let's go up to second highest level, about 2 watts. Go up to high power, which is not really high. There's a turbo mode, 3.6 watts. And let's boost this up to turbo mode, and a little over 7 watts. And lastly, let's take a listen to how it sounds. We'll do an analog simplex test, and we'll do a DMR simplex test.
This is KMRD testing the audio of the Radioddity GD-AT10G Testing 1 2, testing 1 2, check 2, sibilance, sibilance. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Kilo 8 Mike Romeo Delta, clear.
And now we'll test how the DMR sounds.
This is Kilo 8 Mike Romeo Delta, testing the audio quality on DMR for the Radioddity GD-AT10G. Test 2, check 2, sibilance. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Kilo 8 Mike Romeo Delta, clear.
So there we have it, guys. A quick look and walkthrough at the Radioddity GD-AT10G. Taking pre-orders now at the time of this video, but it will be on sale and shipping in the next couple days. $169.99 gets you a fully capable DMR and analog UHF handheld radio. If you're looking to take the plunge into DMR, I would definitely say look at this. This is a fantastic radio. Mostly the quality is there. It's a very rugged radio. I don't think that I would be able to break this very easily. And just being able to program it with the keypad without a computer speaks volumes. It is absolutely fantastic. So thanks Radioddity for sending this to me. I will leave a link in the description for this. There will also be an affiliate link where you can save $15 off any purchase over $65 at radioddity.com. And until next time, we'll catch you again on another episode of K8MRD Radio Stuff. 73, guys.